I'm going to do my intro right after I sneeze.
I'm bored.
All right, ready?
Nope.
Okay. Democracy Dies in Podcast. This is episode 187 of Insert Credit, a relentlessly paced audio program where a panel of video game experts must address a razor-sharp series of questions in no less than 6 minutes each, or meet the stern reproach of a horrible buzzer. I'm Alex Jaffe, and the first video game-related project I was ever involved with was, in fact, a Web 1.0 era compendium of Mario enemies, where I wrote entries for another guy who did the illustrations. So take that, Riot Games Alex Jaffe.
Wow. Wait, so is this actual game or video game related?
Video game related.
Oh, God.
That's hard to remember.
Yeah. I've done a lot of stuff. Hi, my name is Frank Cifaldi, and the first video game related project I involved myself in was a tripod website to release new ROMs for the NES in like the late 90s that I made.
I'm Brandon Sheffield, and the first video game related thing that I was involved with was probably writing a review for a Neo Geo Pocket game on a fan site, Sector NGP. That's probably it. But the other thing I could say is I made a headbanging skeleton animation on my TI-83 calculator. And maybe that's actually the first one, because I did that like a couple years, or 1 year before that. There we go.
Well, joining us this week from the Washington Post is their correspondent on video game news and culture, Gene Park.
Hello, and I'm Gene Park, and I actually have a video game that I made, but before I talk about that, I guess the first video game related project I ever did was when I wrote a review for Virtua Fighter 4 for the PS2 way back in I think the year 2000 for a small website that's still going on called GameCritics.com. And I used to write reviews and coverage for them when I was still in college. And I actually helped fund and co-produce a video game. It was made by one guy, and it was when that tweet about 30 to 50 feral hogs went viral.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I would love to play a video game where I'm just like shooting hogs all day. And this guy was like, hey, I can make it if you give me $20. And I was like, sure, here's 30. and then he made it. There you go.
Did you get the extra $10 worth of content?
Oh yeah, totally.
So Alex, I just realized I do have an earlier thing, which is that in a 7th grade computer class on a Mac Classic, the black and white Mac, using HyperCard, I made a prototype of a pretty terrible adventure game that was essentially Deja Vu. You know, that game where you wake up and you don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's that, but it's also the future. So it's like you wake up and you're like, I don't know who I am. And also, I don't know why it's the future. So that was my first video game.
Rip Van Winkle simulator.
Sure.
Pretty solid.
All right, we're going to go into our first topic right now. What I failed to mention, Gene, before we started the show, every episode has a winner determined by a complex series of metrics that I put into effect behind the scenes here, depending on how well you do on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever wins the episode gets the honor of coming up with a question for next week's episode. Our winner last week, as determined by our substitute host, was Mathew Kumar. And Matthew asks, I love controllers, and I have a decent collection of controllers for different situations and systems. However, I realized recently that the controller I have probably used most often is a launch day Xbox 360 wired controller. It's completely yellow, it rattles because of how often I've dropped it, and the other week the left analog split in half completely and I had to use super glue to get it back together. What gaming item that you've had around forever is your old faithful?
Oh, wow. Good question.
It is.
Yeah. I feel like some of my old faithfuls are dead now. Like there was a PlayStation 2 controller that I used until it was just completely non-functional and I didn't feel like trying to fix it. That's in a e-recycling zone somewhere.
Oh, I have my answer. My Sega Genesis Model 1 DC power brick, which has also powered probably 3 other consoles in my life, seems to just always be around for something.
Oh,
It
yeah.
powers the NES just fine. I forget what else it might power, but That thing is a near universal power brick for old consoles, and I feel like it's one of the few things that I've just maintained for a really long time.
I realize that that's true of me as well. For a while, my Sega CD was in the shop, my CDX, but I wanted to play some Genesis games, so I hooked up an old Genesis one that I have, but I couldn't find the power adapter. And after searching around for a long time, I remembered that I used to use a Jaguar power adapter for it, and that
Wow.
worked great. And I realized I've used a Jaguar power adapter for a Genesis, a Jaguar CD, and an NES as well. So yeah, I guess
Mhm.
just some of those just work forever.
That's incredible. I think I probably have two. I don't know if it still works, but I still own the first piece of video game tech I ever, I guess, had or was given to me. It was the Game and Watch Nintendo series, the
Mhm.
one of the clamshell games. I think it came out like 1984, and it's a greenhouse. It's just like this Luigi looking guy, just basically being
Excuse me, the Stanley the Bug Man.
Oh yes, Stanley the Bugman. He's the fumigator. That's right. Which I thought was pronounced a fumigator when I was a child. And it
Nice.
was still a much more complex word that I was used to back then. So I still have that, and I still have my, I think, 1989 Macintosh 2. If you want to talk about like yellowing tech, that thing used to be gray and now it's just completely yellow. But it's also the first computer I ever owned, and I played like Karateka on it, and Karateka is like the first game I ever played. Period.
So that's the second time today I've heard the title of that game, and you're the one who said it correctly. So you win.
I win already.
Bonus point for me. Yeah.
You're ahead.
I don't use it that much, but the Super Nintendo that I have here is still the one that I found on top, literally on top of a trash pile. My dad and I were driving around somewhere, like Hayward, California, or something like that, and we were just driving past in some suburbs, and on top of an Oscar the Grouch style trash can that was heaped with stuff, there was just a like the slim model, or the mini whatever type Super Nintendo was just sitting on top with a power brick, and I was like, huh, I don't have one of those. So I went and just picked it up out of the trash, and it works great. It's been working great ever since.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, but probably for a Warhorse, it's got to be one of my Saturn or PC Engine controllers that I've just been like using forever and has never broken. But some of those have been getting pretty gunked up lately. I feel like I've been neglecting my Warhorses and need to start giving them those acid baths or whatever you do to refresh your controllers. Should probably do that.
I don't think I have a lot of old stuff. I just tend to get rid of things and then buy them again because I don't really have expensive tastes. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like while I did have some things for a long time, I also have replaced a lot of them with newer, better, more efficient technology. Like I'm about to get one of those wireless Sega Genesis controllers because the cable is just like 1 foot shorter than it should be to reach the couch. So I always wind up with a stiff neck when I play Genesis games.
Well, they're great.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. The wireless ones
Yeah.
are good, and the Bluetooth ones are not good, is what
Yeah,
I've
do
heard.
the 2.4G. Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
But you
I'm
want.
waiting for it to arrive from China. It's on the way.
All right. I think we've given our answers pretty thoroughly.
We've
over
done
there.
our best here,
Yes,
folks.
we did it.
You all get to the participation credit you need. Part 2. Which franchise presented the more exciting future this week? Dragon Quest or Sonic the Hedgehog?
Let's get a reminder of what has been announced because I heard about Sonic right before the show. I didn't look into Dragon Quest yet.
Dragon Quest 12 was announced.
Yeah, they announced Dragon Quest 12.
Over. That's it.
There's going to be an HD remake of Dragon Quest 3.
Okay.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, my favorite game as a middle schooler. Let's see, they're doing an offline mode for Dragon Quest 10. What else are they doing? A bunch of other stuff.
Well, I'm going to assume that 12 is continuing the tradition of being a Yuji Horii game. Like he's still doing it, right?
I think
as far
so.
as we know.
As far as we
Okay.
know.
I think so.
Toriyama art, right? Probably.
Sure.
We don't know that, actually. It's got a really dark logo, so people are suspecting that it might actually go a different direction.
I played through Dragon Quest 11 maybe last year or the year before. Had a really great time for like 3 months. So I am very happy that there's another one coming. So that sounds a lot better to me than what just like some Sonic remakes, right? Like it was Sonic Colors remake and then remaking 1 through Knuckles, right?
1 through CD actually. So
CD.
it's quite rare to see Sonic CD in the same collection as Sonic's 1, 2, and 3.
The new thing here would be 3, right? Because like they haven't really revisited 3 other than Live Arcade. So this is the first time you get 3 with the new.
Knuckles. And yeah, because of there's also the issue with the estate of Michael Jackson and everything. So
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder what they did there.
I have no idea.
That'll be interesting.
You know what is interesting if listeners at home didn't know is that an in production version of 3 before it was done leaked online semi recently. It was pre Michael Jackson, and the 3 Jackson tracks are actually different songs in this game.
Further evidence.
Oh, there's no doubt anymore. Like if you think there's any doubt, you're a moron. But yeah, so it's theoretically possible that they are just using those alternate older tracks or something, which would be kind of interesting. Which is a much more interesting future than playing a new Dragon Quest, let me tell you.
I'll tell you that much. The question is almost feels like a trick question because in what timeline is Sonic's future like bright? I guess. I guess with the movie really brightened things up, right? So I think
And Sonic Mania.
Yeah, and Sonic Mania. So like I would think that like the movie and Sonic Mania were such, almost universally beloved things within the Sonic verse that you would make them a priority, and we just didn't get any of that. So like I think automatically just the next Dragon Quest period is enough already to be exciting. And the fact that they're Square Enix is remaking an old school pixel RPG is also always exciting. That really depends on how much effort they put into it, but I think they're going to put a lot of effort into this. Well, I would hope so. And then with Sonic, there's just like so today in the Sonic Central 30th anniversary stream, they announced a new game from Sonic Team. Yay! Coming out in 2022, and they revealed some kind of logo that either is really illegible and it doesn't tell us anything except that it looks like futuristic, and it either looks like Zap or it looks like it says SAO, which I interpreted mentally as Sonic Art Online.
I thought Sonic Adventure Online.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna make a Sonic MMO. Like nobody asked for this.
Yeah, no thanks. It'll be the extension of Sonic Forces, and you could just...
I mean, did nobody ask for this? I mean, the idea is everybody gets to play as their Sonic OC.
Yeah.
And interact with each other in that way.
I thought it was going to be Sonic Art Online, and it was going to be some kind of like creators tool to create like Sonic OCs and for something. I don't know.
No, if it was Sonic R Online, I could get behind that.
Yeah, there we go.
Sonics running across a million tracks. I'm into it.
Ooh. So wait, someone looking through the hex of the MP4 that Sega uploaded found the title. It is Sonic Rangers.
Oh
wow!
It's just right there in the hex. So
good
job,
well, it
Sega.
could be a working title.
That's true.
That might not be the final name.
Here's where I pitch an exciting Sonic future. It's not Sonic Rangers. It's Sonic Ranger X. It's the insert credit preferred Genesis game Ranger X combined with Sonic. I actually don't think that would be very good, but I'd be interested to see what they do. For Dragon Quest, I am hopeful this different kind of logo. I mean, Hori is definitely involved, but I hope that they take the opportunity to change things up a little bit and maybe not have Koichi Sugiyama be the composer, because
that would be nice.
He's a nationalist, anti-LGBT jerk.
He's
guy
a cretin
who hasn't been making very interesting music lately anyway. So like, give someone else a chance.
Good time to change it up.
Did he compose Dragon Quest XI?
I think so.
There was a lot of like remixing of older tracks. Is kind of
that's
what
right.
It
That's
like
right. With the echoes or whatever, silver, whatever age, I forget. But yes,
Echoes of an Elusive Age.
Yes.
Let's talk about eBay's recent reorganization efforts and update of terms. How is this affecting video game preservation efforts, and what solutions or alternatives are there to these new challenges?
So this is I've been reading Frank's Twitter for questions question.
We have you on the show. I like to ask you things.
That's good. That's good.
But
Thank you.
Is this related to the adult content ban as well, or not?
It's actually not, but I think that's worth discussing. Yes. So among other things that eBay has done, they have killed a lot of product categories.
Oh, right. I saw you talking about this.
And for me specifically, where this got pretty terrible for the job that I do, is that there is no longer a video game magazines category. They have reduced all magazines to, I believe, only 10 subject matters. So if you have a back issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly and you're listing it on eBay, computers or internet are about the closest that you could get to a category. So for me now, it's manually searching titles because I can't just look at a category anymore. Very annoying. Has added. I've mostly hacked around it with some really annoying search terms and stuff like that. So I'm mostly okay now with, well, okay, so for what I do at the foundation, there were two reasons that I shopped video game magazines. One is for our library. I've been collecting video game magazines for about 20 years. We have most of them, but there's some really weird stuff that falls through the cracks. And I have discovered entire magazines that literally don't even have Google results because they were listed in this category. So that's kind of gone forever because I have to just know the titles now. But the other part of what I do, which is as a fundraiser, blind boxing vintage magazines, that's okay because I figured out a way around that. But I feel, and I don't know if anyone else here is much of an eBay user, that eBay is becoming less interested in their clientele being like people. I think they're more interested in being more about selling brands and catering to businesses that just do shipping as opposed to being like the internet's yard sale. And as far as alternatives, they're all terrible. There's stuff like OfferUp, which just has no categorization at all, hardly. And also their search is terrible. So if I search video game magazines, for example, or no, if I search for video games in category books and magazines, it will search for the word video or games. So I will see every instance of the Hunger Games.
Oh God.
Yeah, so it is entirely useless.
So it seems like they're trying to get more like Amazon in a way where it's just like you got warehouses out there that are selling things rather than regular humans on the internet selling stuff.
That is what I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. The adult content crackdown is also interesting. I feel like it's a preemptive strike. The entirety of tech is getting more conservative, and obviously everyone's afraid of anything having to do with sex or sexual content in America. So adults only rated games are going to be unsellable on eBay after like a month from now, less than that, something like that. That's interesting because, in terms of actual adult rated games in the US, there aren't very many of them. But when you come to like, if I want to buy a PC 98 title from Japan from the 90s, it's going to be a lot more difficult for me to do that on eBay than before. So I don't know what you do about that except for shop somewhere else. But it's interesting. I don't really fully understand what the implications are yet. It's not like I'm fiending for adults only games, but it worries me a little bit to see that kind of stuff happen. And I wonder if you can, like, how much of a step from there to like, if someone gets really upset about M-themed video games again because of they don't want to blame school shootings on guns, they want to blame it on something else, can we then get to where M-rated games can't be sold on eBay because we don't have age checks and stuff on there,
Full disclosure, Pierre Midyar, the founder of eBay, used to be my former boss. So me
Okay.
and Glenn Greenwald actually have a lot in common in that regard, I think.
Nice.
But regarding eBay, it's not a site I've really used that often. I did use it back in high school when eBay was very new in the 90s, and most of my peers and classmates like didn't really use the internet besides like porn and email and stuff like that. So what I did back then in high school was I would steal their Magic cards, Magic the Gathering cards, and I would just sell it on eBay.
God.
Good grift going there.
Yeah, I totally had like a racket going. Everybody knew that. I was eventually found out. So like I'm just like this isn't a secret that like the kids like are just finding out after they hear the latest episode of Insert Credit.
Did you keep any of those friends?
One of them still. And I gave him my last single Magic card, and it was a Tundra land card. For some reason, I still had it, and he was missing it. And he was like, "Hey, remember that Baron Singer that you stole from me and you fucking stole on eBay?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You still had that Tundra card?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll just give it to you. Don't worry about it, man."
Well, let's move on before you incriminate yourself any further.
Sure.
We need to celebrate Sonic's 35th anniversary somehow, since Sega isn't doing much about it, which means it's time to return to Violence Island.
Nice.
This is a double-length segment where we talk about a single elimination tournament to determine who would win in a fight between 8 different combatants. This week, we'll be entering 8 of Sonic the Hedgehog's closest friends and allies against each other for the right to be Sonic's best friend.
Are we going to know who they all are?
Well, gentlemen, start your wiki pages.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Our first matchup is Miles Tails Prower versus Shadow the Hedgehog.
So this is okay. We have to establish the rules. Is this like someone's gonna die? Like this is duel to the death?
Right, this is my question. Is it who's stronger or who is better at being Sonic's friend?
It's who's stronger. They have to fight.
They have to fight.
I think Shadow takes
Shadow
this
has
easy.
guns.
I think
Yeah.
Shadow has automatic weapons. He knows how to use. Well, okay, so Tails can invent the weapons, right?
He can make a plane.
Yeah, he can make planes. He can make mechs. He can make planes
Yeah.
that turn into mechs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can also drop bombs, as I've seen in a Game Gear game.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. So he could like pop out of the mech, drop a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now...
But Shadow is supposed to be immortal, though. So
Oh, is he?
yeah, I think he's supposed to be like canonically like actually immortal. So I think it's got to be Shadow regardless.
Can stop time.
Yeah, like even time can beat Shadow. You know.
But if he's immortal, then doesn't he just win? Isn't that the end of the segment? Or are there more immortals coming?
But there might be more immortals coming, so who knows?
Okay, all right. Well, I think we gave Tails a good shot at it, but it's unfortunate.
It's got to be Shadow. All right. Our next matchup is Amy Rose versus Cream the Rabbit.
Oh my God, this is the one I was not looking forward to.
Why?
How does Cream the Rabbit attack things? I don't know.
She's got a chow named Cheese who helps her out.
Okay, is that Chow?
Yeah, I mean, Amy Rose has a mallet.
Yeah, is Cheese the Chow like more powerful than a giant mallet?
That's a good question.
Okay,
I
let's
think
play.
no. I think Amy Rose wins because Cream the Rabbit is not strong. Gene, why were you not looking forward to this? I'm more interested in that.
Well, because I didn't want to hear the words "cream the rabbit."
Oh,
So
right. Yeah.
it just doesn't sound good. I've already said it once today during the actual Sonic thing. I was like, "What if we see Cream the Rabbit?" And I was like, "I think that's the actual first time I've actually said those words out loud, and I do not like it." So,
Well,
Yeah.
that's what Amy Rose does here. She creams the rabbit.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I think
Yeah.
Amy Rose would win because of her love for Sonic would overpower Cream.
Our next match,
Wait, hang on. I have an announcement before you get to the next one, which is that Field Roast has a vegan cheese called Chow.
perfect.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
That's good to know. We'll check that out after the match. Our next matchup is Big the Cat versus Blaze the Cat.
Well, Big the Cat is big and can fish.
Yeah, but Blaze is Sonic with like a little jetpack practically.
It's true.
Runs way faster. Like Big can't run, right? Like he just
Right.
waddles.
He waddles, but like in Sonic Heroes, he actually runs as fast as Sonic because you have to run.
Convenient.
Yeah, I think Big can run. He just doesn't usually feel like it.
Oh yeah, like turtles actually can be fast. Like they
Right.
just don't do it most of the time. Okay, this makes sense.
Okay, so Blaze is a princess or something?
Oh, I don't know. She was the other Sonic.
I think she's from the future.
I'm looking her up, and she's from another dimension.
Okay.
And I mean, I feel like if she's a princess, she's got minions that she can stick on Big.
Oh, she's the regent of the Soul Empire and appointed guardian of the Soul Emeralds. A role
right.
similar to that of Sonic and Knuckles combined. Yeah, I guess that makes her pretty powerful. Like probably on a shadow tier, maybe.
I have the definitive answer to this question. It is
Yeah.
a 4-second video I'm now putting in general chat. Everybody go check this out.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, let's see what we got. It's a little stop motion animation.
Checking this out, and we'll probably put this in the show notes as well.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, all right.
yeah,
Blaze
well,
the
yes.
Cat's our winner.
Yeah, Blaze wins. We'll
Blaze
we'll
wins.
drop that into the show notes so that you all can
Yeah,
see
absolutely.
how
Yeah.
it's.
Thank you, Frank, for that compelling video evidence.
I mean, we have footage now, so it's definitive. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
compelling
seen it.
video
We've
evidence.
seen it.
Our next match is Knuckles the Echidna versus Rouge the Bat.
I don't really know what Rouge does. She's a bat.
She's like a master thief. She's like the Catwoman of the Sonic universe.
Okay.
Can she climb walls and punch stuff?
Gameplay mechanic wise, yeah. What does she
Gameplay
do?
mechanic wise, she's equivalent to Knuckles.
Oh,
But can she fly as opposed to glide?
Not unless she can fly in games other than Sonic Adventure 2, which is the one I played as her in.
Okay.
I don't think she flies like indefinitely either. So I think she is a glider like Knuckles is. I don't know how Knuckles glides either, but yeah.
Well, first thing that I think Knuckles has on her is the punching.
Punching.
I doubt that she's got the same powerful, knuckles as
Mhm.
Knuckles.
Yeah, he's got pointy fists.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that he can probably catch up to her and just punch her repeatedly until she dies from punching. So
I'm
yeah,
reading that she's got stronger legs than Knuckles, though. What Knuckles can do with his fists, she can do with her feet.
I don't really recommend that anybody look these things up. By the way, I'm looking
yeah.
at like a.
Don't look up her feet right now.
No, do not Google Rouge the Bat feet.
I'm
Not even Google Rouge the Bat in general, like knowing the fandom. So
Right.
I'm looking at the Sonic fandom wiki, and I just scrolled to a random paragraph, and it's like during the Neo Metal Sonic incident,
Yeah.
Rouge wore a tight-fitting dark purple outfit that exposed most of her chest with a pink bodice-like garment and belt with heart-shaped buckle. And then it just describes the rest. But it's like, this is the time that I liked her the most. I'm putting that in this paragraph here.
oh my god.
She is also a hypocrite, especially in regard to theft.
That's what I think that Rouge has over Knuckles. I think Knuckles kind of has a crush on Rouge.
Yeah.
So I think his emotions would get in the way of the fight. That's my
Big the Cat style.
yeah.
I don't know. I think if they have to fight to the death, then Knuckles would win.
The Knuckles rap song in Sonic Adventure 2, which is told from his perspective, has an aside about how sexy Rouge is.
Yeah. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Rouge has this.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Knuckles respects Rouge too much to even try to win.
I'm sorry. I'm still looking at this stupid wiki thing, and there's an image of Rouge falling down, and the caption is "Rouge's greed putting her life at risk."
Man, this author is a very controlling romantic partner.
Yeah. Damn.
Does not respect people's choices, individual choices in this game. So.
No, let's keep going.
Shadow the Hedgehog versus Amy Rose.
Probably Shadow.
That's gotta be Shadow, man. He's got these guns.
I know, she's got a hammer.
Yeah.
The hammer's not gonna catch up to those guns.
Yeah.
That's true. He does have guns. All
and
right.
He's also immortal, and she's not.
Yep.
Blaze the Cat versus Rouge the Bat.
I still think Blaze has the edge there with whatever emeralds, soul emeralds.
Yeah,
and,
the soul emeralds. If she's the equivalent of Sonic and Knuckles, then it's got to be Blaze, right?
But I think between the two, Rouge has the killer instinct because she's like the dark one.
Oh yeah,
so that might
dark, right.
Yeah, so it's not. I'm not saying it's Rouge. I'm just saying don't discount evil here when it comes to a death match.
Blaze has an army, or has access to an army, probably.
Oh, and she's from another dimension?
Yeah, she's from another dimension and a princess.
So can she do the thing like at the end of the Avengers movies, like kind of open these holes?
Yeah, she can open portals.
So it's her. So now her versus Shadow, right?
Yeah, that's our final.
That's rough. I think because we've seen Shadow take on entire armies.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
This is tough now. This is a good one, Jaffe.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the finale we've all been waiting for.
Oh wait. Oh no, sorry. It's not Rouge. I was scrolling further through Rouge the Bat's thing, and there's a caption here. Rouge voicing her concern for Shadow's troubles, but we're not dealing with Rouge anymore. So
no.
Yeah, no. So
yeah, she's dead.
Has Blaze met Shadow before?
I don't think so, but she's not as fast as Sonic, and Sonic is as fast as Shadow. So we can rule by the transitive property that Shadow is faster than Blaze.
Mm.
Oh, here's a little shake up. Cream is Blaze's best friend, according to this wiki that I'm looking at. So I wonder if the fact that Cream is now dead will give Blaze more of that fighting spirit.
I don't think Amy killed Cream.
Oh, I thought this was a fight to the death.
I never said to the death.
Okay.
Well, I think it can be.
Yeah,
is the point, right?
Yes,
so
should the combatant so choose.
Someone who's murderous will murder and have a murderous instinct, right? So
okay, so Amy probably killed Cream then.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like Zack Snyder's Batman versus Superman, right?
Right.
Batman definitely spoilers for Batman or Superman: Dawn of Justice. Batman definitively won because he was the one who had the killer instinct. It's just like, So
yeah, that's a good point. I think Blaze probably has those also. I might be wrong.
I mean, we saw what she did to Big.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think her having an infinite portal army is maybe cheating.
Here's what I think isn't cheating. She could use her portal to just trap Shadow in the other dimension, and he'd have no way of getting back.
Yeah, but is it a murder dimension, or is he just kind of like not defeated?
Well, he's defeated at that point.
Yeah, I think that's a ring out.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know about ring out.
That's right. Yeah, it's a ring out. Yeah. Okay.
So she has Ilyana Rasputin-like disc transporting.
She's like the WandaVision of the Sonic verse, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer because, like, I don't think Blaze and Sonic are really that close. So if she wins the title of Sonic's best friend, they're really not going to have a lot to talk about.
She's friends with Silver, I'm learning.
Yeah, but Sonic's friends with everybody.
You can't really be friends with Silver. Come on, folks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds like Blaze won. I'm not satisfied.
He's friends with Silver in the same way that I'm friends with Frank Cifaldi.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right.
In that, well, yeah, we're friendly, but we don't really talk outside of the podcast.
Yeah.
Which is no knock on Frank. We just have different lives.
Right.
And with that in mind, I guess this is the opportunity Sonic finally has to break down those barriers with Blaze. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Best friends. They're now best friends.
Yeah. If anyone asks you who Sonic's best friend is, now you have to say it's Blaze the cat.
I think you mean next time someone asks you
Yeah.
who Sonic's best
Right.
friend
Yeah.
is.
It's a common question. Realistically, I think it would have been, if it were just like a competition for being the friend, it would have been Miles Tails per hour.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course,
absolutely.
Tails.
Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely,
No
yeah.
doubt.
He's dedicated. So.
Sure. He literally carries Sonic. Welcome back to Insert Credit. It's time for us to take another peek into the Dirtbag. Every week, I select a question submitted to us by our generous patrons at patreon.com/insertcredit, who, by subscribing at any level, are able to submit questions to the show, get access to episodes one day early, and even access to exclusive bonus content that we put out on a monthly plus basis. This week's question comes from Official Danimals, who asks, when was the awkward puberty of video games?
PlayStation 1, I think.
Have we left it?
Oh, yeah. or that. Gotta be 90 because
Yeah.
I think 90s, specifically, like pretty much literally like the first E3 is like the moment you can point to when video games kind of became their own thing. You know, like even from a business perspective, it's like we're not talking about them in the toy or consumer electronics category anymore. They're now just their own product category. They have their own show. So I think that's like a turning point for video games, and it was really awkward. So
It was. I remember it.
So I think the mid to late 90s when you had not just PlayStation, you had like 3DO and Jaguar CD and CDI and Game Gear and Lynx, like all of this just stuff everywhere, and no one knew what a 3D game was. And people thought that like FMV games were where games were going, and or virtual reality. I think that's the awkward teen phase where we just didn't know what was going on and were very emotionally complex and didn't know how to be ourselves yet.
I agree, especially with the kind of the 3D growing pains where people were like, what is a 3D game at all?
Mm-hmm.
Just figuring out what a 3D camera does. And we were still figuring out whether we were going to use polygons or quads. And yeah, there's just like all kinds of stuff going on there. Plus, around that time, you get Mortal Kombat and all these other games were getting under fire for violence and stuff. And that's when that kind of panic started. So yeah, I think somewhere in that between 16-bit and 32-bit generations is where it lies.
So like 93.
Yeah,
No,
I'd say
95.
94 or 95.
Yeah, I would think 95 too. And I think I even agree after some thinking about it. I almost wanted to say it was like the closer to the early aughts that resembles like weird awkward teens where we had like all of these weird violent edginess going on. Prince of Persia went edgy. Shadow the Hedgehog had guns. And 50 Cent was releasing games which were very good. 50 Cent Blood and Sand was a very good game. But I also, when you think about teens, you think about 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, and yeah, they don't know how to present themselves. And it does feel like 95, when the Super Nintendo was hot, and becoming a huge thing. Like it was really growing into something that was kind of almost like manic, in terms of
Yeah.
like what video games wanted to be and how it presented itself in its advertisements.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, in 95, you've got that situation where like Toshinden was the biggest fighting game because the 3D graphics looked pretty okay. And it wasn't a very good game, and it didn't matter because we just went fully in one direction. It's like that teen phase where you just feel all your emotions really, really hard.
Yeah.
But just like one at a time. And it's like, I'm really sad now for this month. And the like lust for 3D graphics, and like if you read reviews of games from that time where there'll be like one of the best looking 2D games of all time, and people will be like, it just feels old. It's just not very good because it isn't 3D. Like people reviewing Third Strike. Well, okay, that Third Strike came out much later, but people reviewing, let's say, Vampire Savior from Capcom against Toshinden, they'd be like, I don't know, doesn't have those 3D graphics, looks pretty dated and old. Meanwhile, it's like a fantastic feat of 2D animation.
Unless anyone has any more thoughts, that's actually a pretty good transition into my next question.
Is it about Vampire Savior?
It could be.
Okay, let's find
The
out.
question is, what makes a video game timeless?
When it doesn't have a timer countdown on it. When you choose the infinity
Nice.
round option.
If you played it when you were 12.
Yeah. Well, I do think there's a little more to it than that, because
Yeah.
there certainly are graphical styles that have aged better and don't look like they came from a certain era. And I think it was anything that was trying to look different in a way that other games weren't. I think that Jet Set Radio is kind of timeless because they were doing that tune shading stuff, and no matter how you update that game, it neither looks significantly different nor particularly old. It looks like a style that someone went for and succeeded in achieving. So it will always look that way, even a long time from now, I think.
I think that's an important part, that it's accessible visually, but I think gameplay wise also, it has to be something that if you just pick it up and play it right now as a modern person, you understand it. You don't need to like do any research, or not even mechanically, right? Like not even like it's just awkward and you have to read the manual. It's just like, is it something that is still like the same language that we have now in terms of pressing the buttons and stuff?
I think something that plays into kind of inherent human desires works well. So like with Tetris, you kind of want to stack them all up. You want to make them neat and tidy. And maybe some people don't, but it's something that I feel like a lot of humans have in common. Like we're taught to put the right block in the right hole when we're in preschool or whatever. And Tetris is just like, oh, I know how to do this. I know how to do this.
I feel like that those are all the right answers, and like I think mechanically, I think the way I can explain it is if the gameplay itself communicates a very clear motivation for the player. Like, ooh, I want to see all the blocks stacked up, or ooh, I want to see this. When I think timeless, I think like Resident Evil 4, right? So like I think popping zombie heads and improving your guns. That's always like self-improvement and power fantasies. Those are always like classic things that like everyone's gonna like most people are gonna like really really get drawn to. And definitely like aesthetically too, like you're not really chasing a trend of the graphics of the time. Is particularly one that's engineered by the technology, like so you're not going to look like the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo today, but you're going to use Unreal Engine 5 or something else to make something completely unique and like you said, like successful at communicating that style.
Yeah, like Sword and Sorcery for the iPhone or whatever.
Yes.
That is it. That is a game that like it's pixel art, but it's very clearly it's got a style, and they were using it as a vehicle to create a type of art that they wanted, and it was like it could have been anything, but that's what they chose. That's the important element. But this makes me wonder, like, is Earth Defense Force timeless? I think that mechanically, or at least conceptually, it is, because blowing up buildings as happenstance while you're trying to save the world, those are two things that people very much enjoy.
I think shooting bugs is something that, if more people knew about EDF, then people would consider EDF timeless. Yes.
Yeah. Except for graphically, which is it's every time an EDF comes out, it's dated.
Often the EDFs are literally dated in that there is a year in the title.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, a new EDF came out today.
Really?
Yeah, it's like some Lego style looking one with voxels
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
created by Ukes. I think it just came out today. I didn't even know
Right, I
about
heard
it
about that. Yeah.
until like 20 minutes ago.
There was also EDF Iron Rain that came out a few years ago that uses Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
That actually looks pretty good still.
I still haven't tried that one because it was supposed to be like emphasis on dark, gritty story, and I'm like, I don't want that. I just want them to be like, I'm gonna have a big bloody steak when I go home. Okay,
It
if
still
you
does
say
that,
so.
and it tries to do the good dark gritty stuff. So like I don't know, yeah, but
Interesting.
it's still very much EDF though. So like
Okay, good. I'll
yeah,
try
so I
it
think
then.
you can still play it, and like they're still going for that, but like it feels like that they can't help but be themselves anyways. So
Good. Where's the bullets? I love it. I love that. Love that game. I almost called it a show. It kind of is like a show.
Love that show.
It's a good show.
I think of stuff like driving games and fighting games and rhythm games, stuff with very fast play sessions that you can just pick up at any time.
Racing games can get pretty dated as well. They wind up being products of their time. Like
Yeah, but the best ones stay relevant forever.
sort of. I like Outrun is a really good game, but
Mhm.
when you play Outrun today, it does feel dated.
A little
like
bit. Yeah, I guess so.
because you know your expectation of car mechanics have changed and all that
yeah,
kind of
but
stuff.
then there's Mario Kart 8, which is like like a bajillion years old, and it's still like one of the best sellers of
Yeah.
each month. So
That's true.
I mean, they're still playing Melee in fighting game tournaments.
yeah.
Third Strike in cooler fighting game tournaments.
Yeah, they should play Asuka in more fighting game tournaments. Is what I think. That's timeless
Yes.
for me.
That is a 120% correct opinion.
Yes.
All right. So this is episode 187 of the show. So I'd be remiss not to ask, what are the best murders in video games?
I see. The law joke. Best murders. I mean, you know.
Are we talking about scripted ones or the ones that we do in Hitman?
Either or. It's an
Yeah, go for
open-ended
it.
question. Sky's the limit.
Have you had some particularly good Hitman kills, Gene?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
They must not have been that good then.
Okay, you know what? The Hitman example that I always use is from Hitman 2 Silent Contracts, where you disguise yourself as a sushi chef and you cut the fugu the wrong way, and then you serve the fugu to your target, and then the target is poisoned and dies, and you just like
You
walk out of
Simpsons
the restaurant.
episoded him.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely did a Simpsons episode on him, and I was just like, I can't believe I did what the Simpsons did.
Yeah. You did a Homer Simpson on him.
I was like, that is so sick. So like, like I don't know if it's the best murder, but it's the murder that I'm always thinking of.
I'm gonna say the murders in the Ace Attorney series are good because they just last. You got to think about them a long time. It's not just a thing that happens and you move on to the next murder. It's a murder that you must consider from every angle.
Yeah,
It's a Columbo murder.
Mm-hmm.
that's a pretty good one. There's the murder in the game Kasumi Ninja for Jaguar, which we all know, of course. It's a very popular game
Of
that everyone's
course.
aware of. Where when you play the Scottish guy whose name is, I don't know, Angus or whatever, one of his fatalities is he can lift up his kilt and then he'll shoot out a ball of red flame from his kilt that will burn you to a crisp. It's a pretty good murder. What about Murdered Sole Suspect, in which you are the subject of the murder and you have to solve your own? I like that.
Okay.
Pretty good.
I would say the best murder in video games is if you have a bunch of copies of The Crow City of Angels.
Nice. I get it. I only have one copy of that, and it's more than enough copies of that game, let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's really bad. It's nigh unplayable. It's kind of fun to look at in a awkward teen years kind of way, because it really is one of those awkward. It's got like digitized 2D graphics and a 3D environment.
97, it's in that window.
Yeah, it's in there. It's in there.
I guess another memorable murder was the very first mission in Tenchu Stealth Assassins,
Yeah.
where they just tell you straight up kill the corrupt merchant, and I'm just like, yeah, he's corrupt. What more reason do I need?
He's corrupt, man.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to know.
Yeah, I'm a ninja with a sword, and he's corrupt, and the game is telling me to kill him. So
Yeah.
I like in any Batman game when you can undeniably murder someone as Batman.
Yes.
That always makes me happy.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Actually, I was just looking. There's that guy whose name I don't remember. It's like Bacon Lord or something stupid like that. Who does all these silly videos from Skyrim and other games, and there's one of those things where like somebody's talking to you and then says farewell, and then they just get like slammed in.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That
Yeah, they just get
that
slammed
Elder
by
Scrolls 4 video.
yeah, like a wall rises
Yeah.
up and slams them into the ceiling, and then another guy comes up and says, "May he rest in peace," and then he gets slammed into the ceiling with this wall.
Yeah.
Like
We're
those
just
are
describing funny YouTubes we saw.
those are unequivocally my favorite murders in video games, where it's just like, oh yeah, there is one with Yakuza Like a Dragon. Get into a fight is over, and then you're into the like cutscene part that you need to be in, and then a car comes by and just destroys you, just like because the cutscene put you into the street, and so a car comes by and just completely murders your protagonist. It's great. That kind of stuff is absolutely the best.
Right. I think we've got enough murders for now.
All right.
What should you never do when titling a video game article?
Oh, wow.
Well, if you want to succeed as a business that runs a lot of news articles per day, you shouldn't just say the whole story in the headline, because then why are people going to click on you and help you survive? So that's my first one.
So obscure information.
I think you have to make sure that you've put really clever puns in there, because otherwise, how will anyone know that
those
you're
don't
a clever
work.
writer?
Those don't work. You got to be direct. You got to be direct and promise something that they need. Like it has to be something where it's like, oh, I didn't know I needed this. It's marketing. It's all marketing.
Mm-hmm. I put a pun in my ode to Ethan Winters. And I basically called him the village idiot of Resident Evil. And I was hoping that pun alone would get people to read it. But what should you not put in a headline? I guess my general philosophy on headlines is I really hate and this is like just like not even a gaming headline, just like general, because if folks don't know, I've only been a gaming journalist for like a year. I've mostly been like a regular, like, well, not even a regular journalist, but just like like a general news crime beat journalist or whatever for 18 years or so. I guess the headlines I hate the most are the ones that ask a question. What will Jim Ryan of Sony do next, or whatever? You know, that kind of stuff. You feel like people are going to click on, but at least for me, like at a philosophical level, I hate them, because our job is not to ask questions of our readers. We're supposed to be answering them. So any headline that starts off with a question is already like a no for me.
Yeah, I was told a long time ago that any headline that is a yes or no question, the answer is always no when you read the article, and I think people have caught on to that.
Yeah, it's always that, or it's like, well, it's complicated, and it's like, well,
yeah, the answer is sometimes maybe.
Yeah, it's always like either maybe or here's both sides of the equation or whatever like that. It's just like what are we even doing here? So
What do you think? Answer in the comments.
Yeah,
Comments are disabled.
Let's hear from the experts in the comments below.
What I was talking about with the pun thing was just referencing that the majority of game journalism, especially magazines, just could not help themselves but put puns in there. And I recently came across this magazine article about Nights into Dreams for the Saturn, which was called Saturny Nights Fever. And
oh man,
you know, sometimes.
Oh, that's the funniest thing I've heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
That just made my stomach hurt.
Yeah.
Saturday Night's Fever. I hope they won a Pulitzer.
I couldn't help myself with those as well. Frank, remember Dave Carricker?
Yes, I remember your headline. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say it
to
prove that I remember it?
Sure.
There's David Carricker, who was PR for Sony for a minute, for like launch PS3 era, I believe. You could read his name as Caracker if you didn't hear it pronounced. So Brandon's headline was a tough nut to Caracker.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That does sound like a Brandon thing to write.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think I ended it tough nut to Carack, and then I said interview with Dave Carricker.
Okay. All right.
So it sort of made a little more sense, sort of, kind of. Anyway, puns, that's what you shouldn't do, but you will do it anyway if you're a game journalist. You can't help yourself. You have to do it. It's a compulsion.
Yeah. What do you think it is about video game journalists that drive them to write puns? I mean, we do it.
I think it's overwork and lack of sleep.
Yeah.
That's what I think drives them, makes them
Yeah,
loopy.
and it's a little bit of serotonin that we can get by just writing a pun and getting it published, right?
I
So.
did something clever briefly. I also the thing that bugs me in video game headlines, it doesn't happen as much anymore, but we used to always do this like for interviews, it would be like something really boring, colon, so and so speaks.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it was so lazy and so formulaic, but we all did it all the time, and we don't really do it anymore, but it bugs me. It bugs me.
Are we pro or con putting colons in titles in general?
I'm kind of on the fence on it. It feels lazy because it's just like we've got. I don't have time to think about this, so I'm going to break it into the two parts. Like here's the color part, and here's the informational part.
I don't think it's lazy. I think it's suited to long form features, but not news. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Right.
It's fine if you're titling something that has some other reason for people to read it, but if it's I think news headlines should be like 8 words and just slap you in the face and make you click, and that's it.
Yeah, if it's not war, I'm not listening.
What war is good for, actually?
That's
like
a great
that one?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
you're gonna click on that one.
yeah.
Or no, wait, with the colon, it'd be like revealed colon what war is actually good for.
I would click that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got me.
Like in a year, you can run a reprise of that article with an update, and you can say it again, y'all. Before it. Okay.
That's a step too far.
We'll see.
So this
We'll
is
see.
usually the part of the show where I ask about the something of video games.
Mhm.
But today I want to flip it. What is the Dragon Quest of movies?
Well, there is a Dragon Quest movie, so we'll discount that.
Yeah, that's not the Dragon Quest movie does not have the same impact and cultural cash in movies as Dragon Quest does in video games.
So it's got to be something that salarymen in Japan will skip work to see. And so I'm not. Well, maybe that's actually a bad direction to go from, because I'm not sure that we know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
So let's think about it another way.
Yeah, because no one in America skips work, you know?
That's right.
Like we don't do that. Like we don't even get a day off to vote. So, you know,
That's true.
nobody is trained to just skip work to watch a movie, you know, or play a video game, you know?
Yeah, for any foreign listeners out there, we can actually go to prison if we skip work and don't call in.
Actually, the highest grossing film in Japan of all time is the new Demon Slayer movie.
Yes, the Demon Slayer, yes.
Wow. I mean, that might be the answer. Because it's not nearly as popular here.
And like by a lot.
Interesting.
My instinctual answer for the Dragon Quest and movies, I guess, is the Fast and Furious movies.
That's not bad. Do we have like crew continuity between all of them?
There is crew continuity. The movies are well. I haven't watched all of them. I've only watched like the middle one. So like, I couldn't tell you if this is like a continuing, long lasting legacy or whatever. But
Yeah,
I mean,
there are characters who connect the whole thing together.
Yeah, they just There's always a common thread. You know, they're inexplicably popular, and there's like a ton of them.
It's also always reinventing its own formula to make it more and more ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the latest one is just like a superhero movie now, basically.
Yeah, the latest one is like the first one was about like stolen DVD players, and this one's about flying cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they all had like the same director, I think I'd be into it. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, like there needs to be like much more consistency, I guess, even that.
yeah,
I don't know. I guess Star Wars then.
Yeah, I was gonna go for Star Wars, because also that's something that people will skip work to see.
I mean, people will
Yeah.
skip work to see that too. So there's that. So
yeah, but also
Yeah.
Star Wars is, well, I was gonna say it's a much bigger deal, but I think Dragon Quest is as big a deal to a certain person, so maybe not.
yeah, I think in Japan, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on where you are or who you're with, then
Yeah.
it might be just as big. You know.
Yeah, Lucasfilm has spent so much money trying to get like Eastern Asian markets to care about Star Wars, and it's like not really taking that well.
they just got to get Toriyama to work on it.
Yeah. I mean, last time I was in Japan, there just happened to be a Dragon Quest slime takeover of a few 7-Elevens. And like when you opened the door, instead of the usual chime or welcome, it played like a a little Dragon Quest sound, and there were certain tiles you could step on the floor that would make some sounds, and they were selling slimes everywhere, and they'd rebranded the ATMs like a shop or
Wow.
something, and there wasn't a game to promote. It was just like we got the ability to do Dragon Quest, and just it was mobbed with people taking pictures of stuff. So yeah, I think it's probably Star Wars is where I'm going with that, because you can also just do that at a 7-Eleven at any time. Here, be like, we have a Star Wars promotion now, and people will
Yeah,
be like, oh,
that's
I gotta
true.
get those.
That's true. Yeah,
cups.
if a local Star Wars 7-Eleven just started randomly doing like Star Wars stuff for no
Show
reason
up.
whatsoever, like even I would still go, and I don't like Star Wars anymore.
Yeah,
So,
there's a permanent Star Wars theme park in
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah, Wookiee flavored Slurpees. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's a credit to Dragon Quest that we can compare it to Star Wars. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of a compliment, an unfortunate compliment to Star Wars, probably. I think Dragon
Yeah.
Quest is probably a little better than Star Wars, but
I believe that too. So
yeah. I say this based on not having played any Dragon Quests except for Rocket Slime Adventure.
Wow. Brandon, you should play a Dragon Quest. You'd like it.
We'll see about
you would
that.
like it. They're very good. Dragon Quest 11 was good.
But they tell me, I'll give it a try. It's really hard. I mean, we've had this conversation before, but it's really tough to get excited about and motivated to play an RPG that is so long and I know it has like some bite-sized presentation to it, which is cool, but just the idea, the knowledge that it is a game I could spend 100 hours on and not have everything done is like just so daunting. I know it should be enticing, but it just is.
No, it's daunting for me. It's why I haven't finished Persona 5, because it's like this felt like it took forever, and I'm only done with the first chapter. So
Yeah, I stopped that one pretty quick.
I don't know if I can recreate this experience, but when I said earlier that I played Dragon Quest 11 for 3 months, I meant it. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a game that I played for a half hour whenever I felt like it and accomplished something. And like, I just don't play games that much. I don't know. So it's not daunting if it's just like a thing that you live with and visit once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would just need to start it and see. I'll give 11 a shot. I'll try.
I think Star Wars is the right answer. But now it's time to go into our lightning round. This week, we've got a little bit of a game show thing going. I am going to name and describe an achievement from a video game, and you have to tell me what game it's from.
Halo.
Are you ready?
let's go.
All right.
Shadow.
Gears of War.
Your first achievement is 7-Day Survivor. Survive for at least 7 days in Infinity mode.
Is that Don't Starve?
No.
That was my first guess too.
Dang it.
But that is the frame of reference that Brandon and I have for a survival game. It's like
That's right.
the first one. we didn't look past that one. Sorry.
Dean, you have a guess?
No Man's Sky.
It's Dead Rising.
Oh my god,
Interesting.
weird.
The Legendary Hero. Complete the game on the hardest difficulty setting without dying, using health packs, killing anyone, getting spotted, and in under 5 hours.
It's called Legendary Hero.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
was going a Zelda direction before I heard health packs and getting spotted.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that a Metal Gear would call you a legendary hero, but that's all I got.
Could it be Deus?
What was the good health packs and what?
Without dying, without using health packs, without killing anyone, without getting spotted, and all in under 5 hours.
I'm thinking Deus Ex.
It's got to be a Metal Gear Solid.
That'd be Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty.
I'm sorry, it's Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots.
Damn
No
it.
points.
Damn it. Okay.
Catfight. Beat Cheetah using the cat call ability.
This is awful. I hate video games.
Yeah. I don't know. Shadow the Hedgehog?
Wonder
It's
Woman.
not.
I don't think there was a Wonder Woman game in like years, but I don't know. Who...
I don't know if there ever was.
Yeah. Has there ever been a Wonder Woman game? That sucks.
There's never been a Wonder Woman game.
That's awful. That's
Who the heck
terrible.
is Cheetah?
All right. The answer was you were close. It's Injustice 2.
Oh,
damn
nice.
it.
Soldier's Trophy. Collect all the unique weapons and shields in the game.
Unique shield.
Got
Yeah.
shields. I can only think of Breath of the Wild again, but that doesn't have achievements in that way.
I don't know. I got nothing.
I mean, I'll go with like Skyrim.
You got me. I feel like Skyrim has thousands of shields that they'd be
Yeah, it'd
crazy
be impossible.
to open an achievement to.
Now, the game is Demon Souls.
I was gonna say Dark Souls, but I still would have been wrong anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, damn it. Okay.
World Champion. Achieved the #1 ranking on the game's global leaderboards. This is generally considered the worst achievement of all time.
That is the worst achievement I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 4. Or Street Fighter 5, probably, actually.
Global leaderboard. I don't know. That could be anything.
There aren't achievements for this, but I got #2, but #1 technically in Pyongyang Racer, the North Korean tourist game.
Nice.
So I'm gonna guess that one.
No, the answer was Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter.
Oh,
God.
I was close.
The Flap Master. Score 10 points in Flappy Goat.
Okay, Flappy
The
Goat.
Flappy Goat is a game inside of a game.
It could be Goat Simulator.
It is Goat Simulator. Brandon gets the
Okay.
first point of the game.
Right.
Burn-in Rubber. Saves your screen from burn-in with 3D animated vehicles.
How is this is an achievement?
Yeah.
Crazy Taxi?
No,
Nope.
there's no 2D vehicles in Crazy.
Yeah, they're all 3D in Crazy
Oh
Taxi.
well, yeah. If they gotta make a distinction, then yeah.
3D vehicles. What would have a 2D and 3D? Read the achievement again.
Burn-in Rubber. Save your screen from burn-in with 3D animated vehicles.
So it's got to be one of these like throwback type games if it's
Yeah.
talking about burn-in.
Yeah, I'm thinking one of those games that like evolves through all the eras of gaming.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
1980X or whatever. I don't think it's that one.
That's all I got. It's one of those, or maybe there's only one of those. I don't know.
Well, 1980X, that's my guess because.
Frank, you should have gotten this one. It's Full Throttle Remastered.
Oh.
Okay, so that means that during the driving sections, the original mode is 2D, but you get actual models if you go into the remastered mode, I guess.
If you activate the screensaver in the game, you get the achievement.
Oh.
I
that's
didn't even know about a screensaver in that game. So
I am Arthur Clarke. Beat the whole game without dying once.
Oh wait.
Who's Arthur
is
Clarke?
Arthur Clarke the Ghosts and Goblins guy?
Nope.
Okay.
No. That
I
is
was gonna
Arthur.
say, I almost said Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well, I don't know who this is. So
Arthur
I'm
Clarke is, of course, the writer of War of the Worlds.
Oh.
Wait, so
Wait,
I have to
no.
kill him or something? What?
No, you have to beat the game War of the Worlds.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Hard boiled. Eat all the hot dogs in Eggman Land.
Wait, War of the Worlds is by H.G. Wells.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the achievement's called I am Arthur Clarke.
Maybe Arthur Clarke is the protagonist.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's move along. It's just that I like H.G. Wells, so I was a little taken aback there.
Yeah.
No, the narrator is unnamed. Well, what the heck?
And why is it called I am Arthur Clarke?
Heck
That
if I
must be
know.
the character you play as in this game. I don't know.
They named the character after
They
a
made somebody
different
up. It's-
science fiction author.
I mean, I am in the Slack of the developers who made this game. You want me to ask?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
do.
Yeah, let's find out.
Yeah, let's find this out right now. The next one is Hard Boiled. Eat all the hot dogs in Eggman Land.
Which Sonic game do you eat hot dogs in?
So it's got to be in the one of these referential eras because they're talking about chili dogs or whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to say Sonic and the Black Knight.
I'm gonna guess Sonic Forces.
Frank, do you have a Sonic guess?
Okay, all the hot dogs in Eggman Land?
Yeah.
Sonic Colors.
It was Sonic Unleashed.
Dang it.
Ah!
Heck,
I was gonna say Sonic Unleashed. God
You-
damn it.
yeah, I feel like
All
Black
right.
Knight was pretty close.
Yeah. It was around that era. Yeah.
Here's the last one. Unachievable. There is no way to get this achievement legitimately.
Pretty good.
What's the name of the achievement?
Unachievable.
It feels like it should be something like Hypnospace Outlaw. I'm sure it's not, but some game where you're like supposed to kind of hack things would be what I would think. Or maybe Frozen Synapse. I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of a game where this would make sense, but
Yeah, I'm totally lost.
Watch Dogs, something like that.
I'm thinking more like, I don't know, Braid. That's weird stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
Frank is closer.
Is it The Witness then?
No, it's the Stanley Parable.
Oh.
Never played it.
Well, that was 10 achievements, and Brandon got one of them. So congratulations, Brandon. You're the winner of this week's episode.
I won!
Yeah.
So according to Mike Micah, Arthur Clarke is the main character in the game. And it was a
Why?
new story written by an English sci-fi author. That's all I
Got
got.
it. All
Okay.
right. Disappointing, but true.
As voiced by Patrick Stewart.
Yes, he was the narrator of that game. Yes.
So this is the part of the show where we recommend things for our listeners to engage in and plug whatever we got going on if that's something we wish to do. We're running a little short on time, so Gene, why don't you go first?
Subscribe to your local newspaper.
Yeah.
If they're good. I never want to be one of those journalists to say, hey, just subscribe to your local newspaper and support your local journalism. No. Find out if they're good first and then subscribe to them. You can follow me on Twitter, Gene Park, just how it's spelled. I'm the easiest person to find online. And I don't know what else to plug. So follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/launcher. We're going to start doing more streaming stuff. Earlier today, I basically watched the Sonic Central anniversary thing. So just come hang out with me.
Right.
Nice.
Brandon, Frank, you got anything?
I don't really have one. I'm just kind of, as usual, thinking back to the last week and going, God, did I do anything? But my wife was sick and was craving Perry Mason, as in the old ones, and they're on Paramount Plus. I'm not recommending Paramount Plus, but maybe just an FYI if you really need to watch the old Perry Mason.
That's where to get it.
That's where you get it, and the prints are remarkably gorgeous HD prints of Perry Mason. They did a good job of conserving Perry Mason.
More like Paramount Plus.
Frank, do you know if she has heard the Ozzy Osbourne song Perry Mason?
Yes.
Does she get it stuck in her head when she thinks about Perry Mason? Because I sure do.
But I do. And she didn't know what I was talking about, so I played it, and she was like, "Oh, I never knew what he was saying in that song." So yeah. But also when I have played the original Silent Hill, I get that song stuck in my head. But Harry Mason, who is the character in Silent Hill, so
sure.
Yeah, who should we get on the case?
We need Harry Mason.
Harry Mason.
Yeah.
Someone to put things in place.
Darling Harry Mason.
That's right, darling. Again. So I got a couple. One is, since I apparently the metal album that I recommended last time, apparently I had recommended it many episodes ago also. I'll do a new one that I have not, which is the album Slay in Hell by Steel Bearing Hand. That's another good trad death metal album, but is new. They're from Texas. And it's one of those albums where you listen to the first 30 seconds and you're like, these people are definitely from the American South. There's just no question about where that music is from. I also will mention that if you go to Good Deal Games and mention insert credit to them, you can get $5 off any Genesis game that you order from them.
What a bargain.
That's so specific.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What happened with that was I ordered a bunch of games from them because I'm trying to, for an upcoming like side segment, I want to do like a roundup of all of the newish Genesis games from that have come out in the last 10 years and whatever.
Yeah, you took yourself to homebrew heaven, huh?
Yeah, I went over there and I had to get a couple of things that I couldn't get elsewhere. And since I bought several things, they were like, "Oh, if this is for your podcast, just let them know that if they mention your podcast name, then we'll give them a discount, $5 off any Genesis game." So I figured, why not pass the savings on to you?
You know, I'm gonna back up the recommendation of just shopping there because Michael's a good guy and he cut me a good deal on obscure video game collector magazines that he was a part of a long time ago. So yeah, gooddealgames.com, folks.
We did it.
Right. I would also like to recommend that if you're listening to the show on any platform where you can subscribe to a review podcast, that you engage with us in that way to keep the algorithms pushing us upwards and forwards. You can also go to patreon.com/insertcredit, where you could become a patron to submit your own questions, get our regular episodes one day early, and even access to monthly bonus episodes and other exclusive content. You can join us on forums.insertcredit.com, where the discussion is going on all the time, and follow us on Twitter for our own personal updates and projects. The show is at Insert Credit. I'm at Alex Jaffe. Frank is at Frank Zafaldi. Brandon is at Necrosofty. And Gene is at Gene Park. This show is produced by Esper Quinn, with music by Kurt Feldman. Once more, I'm Alex Jaffe.
I'm Frank Zafaldi.
I'm Brandon Sheffield.
And I'm Gene Park.
And your game has now been saved. Frank, I feel bad about that Blaze the Cat joke. You're not a Blaze the Cat to me. You're at least a James Marsden.
Thank you. Hopefully they will deal with me while they're also like licensing Judge Dredd or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping.